What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here with NBA 2K17 MyLeague, and we are doing a brand new sim series. Now, this is not going to be like the normal sim series I do where I sim year by year. Instead, we are just going to jump 80 years into the future and see what happens throughout the NBA. I'm expecting some crazy changes, maybe some records broken, who knows? But go ahead, hop in your TARDIS, hop in your DeLorean, maybe your hot tub, whatever time traveling machine you have, and let's go ahead and jump into the year 2096. Alright, Sneaky Nation, we are here in year 2096, and let me tell you, that took so long to do, but we are here now. So before we go into checking out all the stats and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and say I did not make a single decision throughout this. Everything was on autopilot. All I did was simulate through the years. And now we're in 2096, so let's go ahead and check out all the stats. We will start off with the MVP award. Let's go. Alright guys, we are here with the MVP awards. I'm going to try to go through this somewhat quickly. If you guys just want to dive more into it, feel free to hit the pause button to find out all the MVPs. But here we are in 2016. Let's jump ahead to find out who NBA 2K17 predicts will win the MVP award this year. And it's going to be LeBron James grabbing another one back in Cleveland there. Make that 2 in a row. Damian Lillard is going to win MVP for the Portland Trail Blazers. That one is pretty interesting to see. LeBron James taking another, then Curry getting back involved, and LeBron James and Curry going back and forth until the first simmed player, Antonio Dantley, wins MVP for the Memphis Grizzlies, then Kevin Durant, but he does it with the Brooklyn Nets. Oh man, I guess they had the best team in the NBA, and he's like, hey, might as well join them now. I don't know, but there he is with the Nets. Antonio Dantley going to win his second, make that his third, so a really good player there. And now Eric George is coming into the picture. I like to say this player is related to Paul George, but maybe that's not true. Anyway, Eric George with the Warriors there, so taking over for Stephen Curry. Then you got Johnny Emerson for the Miami Heat, and it looks like those two are going to split it until Ed Gentry comes into play. Then Johnny Emerson wins another. Now, he was actually injured through these 2 years. Johnny Emerson was probably the best player in the NBA at this time, but I actually checked it out because I think Johnny Emerson won MVP his rookie season, and so when he didn't win it the next 2 years, I was like, what is going on? What happened to this guy? And he was just injured, but here he is healthy again, and that is 4 MVPs for Johnny Emerson. Then Johnny Willis is going to win one for the 76ers, so you know, the process is finally paying off. It took them a while to make it happen, but here it is. They are going to have a great player in Johnny Willis before Gar Mercer wins MVP. Also for the Grizzlies, the same team that drafted Antonio Dantley. So they're doing a really good job of getting MVP caliber players there in Memphis. Then the Spurs are going to add another MVP player to their team, Nwankwo Okocha. Is that how I say it? I'm going to say it is. I don't know. Melvin Vern for the Thunder there, winning 3 in a row, 4 in a row for the Thunder, 5 MVPs in a row for Melvin Vern. Mitchell Tate will finally unseat him as the MVP player there, and another 76er guy. You would think he's on the same timeline as Johnny Willis, but who knows. Melvin Vern winning his 6th MVP award before David Dawkins with the Indiana Pacers takes it, and that'll be 2 in a row for David Dawkins, 3 in a row, 4 in a row for David Dawkins, 5. Oh, he didn't get the 6th. He got 5 MVPs in a row, though. And then you are going to have Gerard Whitney win MVP for the Portland Trail Blazers. He'll win it twice in a row before David Dawkins comes back into the picture. 8 total MVPs for David Dawkins. We'll have to find out if somebody unthrones him as the most MVPs throughout this sim, but David Dawkins has it right now. Fun fact, the Pacers sucked during this time. David Dawkins was like a 97 overall. All of his teammates were like a 72. So there's a reason he was putting up ridiculous stats, but his team just sucked. Florin Constantine for the Utah Jazz. Gerard Whitney going to win his 3rd. Florin Constantine his 2nd. 3rd then. And then the 76ers with another MVP and Dirk Kramer this time. Then Constantine will win his 4th. Dirk Kramer again. And then the Lakers getting another MVP and Melvin McDaniel there. Dirk Kramer, he can't win it back-to-back years, but he's won it 3 out of the last 5 years there. Leon Witt there. And then Florin Constantine back into the picture after not winning it for 4 seasons, still getting it done in the NBA before Damian Hickman wins for the Toronto Raptors. And Hickman, 4 in a row. He didn't get the 5th in a row. 4 in a row for Hickman, though. Bryn Wooden for the Bucks going to win 1. Then Hickman back into the picture with 5 MVPs. Uri Gallagher. So the Raptors, 2 MVP players back-to-back, but different guys. That's very interesting. Did they play at the same time? If so, I think it's safe to say we are going to see some Toronto Raptors championships because that's crazy. Hugh Hendricks with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then you got Uri Gallagher winning another. Hugh Hendricks back at it. He is 4 now. Make that 5 for Hugh Hendricks before Dmitry Kasparov for the Dallas Mavericks wins 1. Dylan Peterson for the Rockets going up the list. Clint Mitchell on a run here. He's got 5 in a row before Dmitry Kasparov wins another. Clint Mitchell 6, 7 for Clint Mitchell. And will he get an 8th MVP to tie Dawkins? We'll have to see. And it doesn't look like it is going to happen. Now, Dwayne Ray ended up winning the last 6 MVPs before we could not sim any further. So he could have very easily broken that record for most MVPs. But instead, he's just going to have to settle for 6. Let's go ahead and check out some of the stats that happened during this time. Actually, before we get into the stats, let's go ahead and check out all of the NBA champions throughout this time frame. And this year, NBA 2K is predicting the Blazers over the Knicks. What? Oh my gosh. I'm not trying to throw shade at the Blazers, all right? The Blazers are not a bad team. I don't think they're an NBA championship caliber team at all. I don't like the combo of CJ McCollum and Lillard. I know Lillard's a very good player. CJ McCollum, he's undersized for me, too undersized for me. Neither of which are very good at defense. I don't think you can win an NBA championship like that, but who knows? They might be able to pull off some upsets. It'd be ridiculous, though. But the freaking New York Knicks? No, get out of here. I'm sorry. Like, all right, so if Porzingis becomes a great, Hall of Fame caliber player, sure, but he's not there yet. He's not there this year. The corpse of Carmelo Anthony certainly isn't going to help him out. I don't know what you expect, Derrick Rose. No, just no 2K. Go to your room and think about what you've done. All right, let's go ahead and find out who else is going to win some championships here. You got the Warriors winning another with Curry. Now the 76ers going to win one with Ben Simmons. So, in fact, the process has indeed paid off for the 76ers. Ben Simmons bringing them that championship there. The Cavs going to win one with Irving getting the MVP of the finals there instead of LeBron James. Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant, though. We're not even talking about, oh man, Kevin Durant with the Brooklyn Nets. There you go. Emmanuel Cisse and the Dallas Mavericks would win one. Now you got the Suns taking one. Devin Booker getting the MVP. Then Antonio Dantley. We saw this guy get some MVPs. He would win one with the Grizzlies. Then the Celtics adding another to their total with Charles McMillan. Now the Cavs going to grab another, but it's Brandon Ingram leading the way there. That's interesting to see. Eric George and the Warriors. Emmanuel Cisse getting his second with the Dallas Mavericks there. Eugene Paul and the Jazz. The Spurs going to add another with Simon Falk getting MVP. Junior Cox and the Thunder would win one. The Magic going to grab one with Ulf Johansson here. I believe that's their first ever NBA championship if I'm not mistaken. The Bucks, Wally O'Neal there. And now the Pacers get their first NBA championship with Pete Franklin winning MVP. Blazers going to add another. Now, one thing I do want to show y'all really quick is look at how many different teams have won. In fact, during this, 15-year time frame, do we have a single team repeat? Okay, so we have the Cavs repeating. Let's go up one more. Let's see if we have a single team repeating. Now, I don't think no, the Mavericks are there. Let's go up 2 more. And the Heat, let's see. I don't think we have a single team repeating during this time. Now, let me go ahead and say, the NBA will never have this much of a variety of NBA championships. This is absolutely ridiculous how many different teams are winning. And I can tell you from simulating, one thing I noticed is the seeds did not mean a single thing at all. Now you got a potential dynasty. Now we go. Before we get into that, the seeds didn't mean anything. There were some seasons when I saw every single lower seed team win in the first round. I mean, it seemed like a coin toss to me. I don't know. But the Suns are the first team to win back-to-back championships, I think, during this sim. And they're going to win 3 in a row here. They are dethroned by the Minnesota Timberwolves, though. But 3 in a row is the best we have seen by the Suns right there. So interesting to see that. Going up the list, we'll see if we have any other teams really repeating. Okay, you got 2 in a row by the Warriors, each of which, actually, if you look at it, they have 3 within a 5-year span, all of which with a different finals MVP. Very crazy. They must have had a very balanced team during that run there. Up the list a bit more. Are we seeing anything? All right, we get 2 in a row by the 76ers, but still not seeing a whole lot of repeating teams. At least not like a legit dynasty, anyway, that you would anticipate seeing. Up the list a bit more. Any other teams going to really get back-to-back wins? You see the Lakers, they were close, but not really. There was a year in between them. You get 2 in a row by the Timberwolves with Hugh Hendricks leading the way. And it just, you know, again, you see 2 in a, not in a row, but 2 in 3 years, but you're really not seeing teams go back-to-back a whole lot. The Wizards got 3 in 4 years. That's about as close other than that Suns team, but really, though, you're never going to see this in the NBA. I don't care. You're never going to see this. Another thing you're never going to see is a 4-0 NBA Finals. Ha! Like the NBA would ever let that happen. Am I right? Am I right? No. Okay, let's just go on to the next stat. All right, here we are with points per game. Let's go ahead and find out who were the dominant players in scoring the basketball. DeMar DeRozan, 31.4. Stephen Curry going to win another scoring title there. DeRozan again, Curry going back and forth, really. And then Curry's going to go on a roll. He's getting up there in age, but he is still getting it done for the Warriors. Another scoring title to his total there before Antonio Dantley comes into play. 29.7 for him. 29. Eric George, 32.3 for the Warriors, taking over for Curry nicely. There's Charles McMillan, Antonio Dantley back at it, so 35.5. Now, one thing I will say is I'm pretty sure this was Johnny Emerson's rookie season, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think it was. 40.1, 36.1, I mean 40.1. I don't know if we're ever going to see another player score like that in the NBA. Obviously, way back when Wilt Chamberlain was there dominating, you saw some great seasons by Kobe, by Jordan, obviously. I don't know if we're ever going to see 40.1 scored again, but we'll have to pay attention. Here's Gar Mercer. He had a few good seasons. Going up the list. Now, right here, you notice a big drop-off. They actually changed some rules. At this point, they went to a 35-second shot clock. 35 seconds. So the scoring just dropped off dramatically. We'll have to find out. I mean, you can see here, 34.7 all the way down to 22. It's just not happening. He averaged under 20 points a game, and that was the best in the NBA. Here is David Dawkins with the Indiana Pacers. We saw him. He actually had the most MVPs throughout this entire sim, really. He got up to 35.5 points a game. Does he ever top that? 35.8 points a game. That looks like, and here he got 9 scoring titles. He only had 8 MVPs, but 9 scoring titles. We'll have to see if somebody can top that. But still, 40.1 is the record right now. Is anybody going to top that as we scroll up? They did change it back to 24 at one point. 42.4 points a game. And for a while, they lowered it down to 20-second shot clocks. This might be during that era, but 42.4 points a game. That is ridiculous. Here is Hugh Hendricks, 46.2. What? Oh my gosh, Hugh Hendricks balling out for the Minnesota. Look how many 40-plus seasons he had, though. He was tearing the NBA apart. I think this was probably during the 20-second shot clock era, but ridiculous either way. I doubt we're going to see something higher than 46.2. That is absurd. And sure enough, that's going to be the record. On to the next stat. Let's check out rebounds. All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and scroll through this one pretty quickly. And 18.3 rebounds a game for Hassan Whiteside. There you have it. Let's see if anybody can top that as we scroll up. Karl Anthony Towns is going to dominate this list for a while. Never had 18.3 rebounds a game, though, as we continue to scroll up. Going through kind of quickly again. 35-second shot clock era, you're going to see that number drop down. But once we get to the 20-second shot clock, you might see it skyrocket again. Who knows? 18.3, still the record, though. Here you go. 20.8 by Philip Barrow. And you can tell right here. This must be when they went up into the 20-second shot clock era. 21.6 rebounds a game. A game. He's getting 21.6 a game. That is so absurd. And it doesn't look like anyone is going to top that. Malik Gentry will get close there. Gentry will get close. I don't think we're going to see anything top that. Let's go over to assist a game, see what we got there. All right, here we are with the assist leaders. Let's find out who was leading the way in assist. Wall, Paul, you're going to see these go back and forth. 11.6 is the most we've seen during the simulated seasons, but Emmanuel Cisse will change that for the Mavericks. He's got 12 there. We saw him get 2 championships with the Mavericks. We got 12 by Jimmy Atkins as well. Nicholas Bradley, 12.4 assists per game. And then Michael Bennett will tie that. Lester Brock, 12.7 assists a game. That is so many assists per game there. As we scroll up the list, will anybody top that one? And 13.4 by Chad Henry on the Clippers. And nobody's close. Never mind. Pedrak Oleg, 13.5 assists a game. That is so ridiculous. 15.6 Wesley Berry, getting everybody involved for the Chicago Bulls. 15.8. Oh my gosh, this is a guy that, you know, he's going to have to play a long time to make it happen, but this might be a guy that could break John Stockton's assist record. That is something to keep an eye on there. Unbelievable. 15.8 assist, and he was going for quite a while by the looks of things here. But 15.8, I haven't seen anybody top that yet, and it doesn't look like we're going to. Let's go ahead and check out blocks. All right, here we are with blocks, and this is one I'm particularly interested in seeing because for a while, they got rid of the goaltending rule in the NBA, and so I don't know if we're going to see like 10 blocks per game. That the NBA would be so ridiculous. You could never shoot a jump shot. Some guy could just chill under the basket and swat it away. So we'll have to see if that is reflected in the stats or not. DeAndre Jordan, all right, so 2.8 is the highest we've seen in the simulated seasons. Obviously, Hassan Whiteside had 3.7 the year before. 3 for Anthony Davis. Here is Stan Grace, 2.5, 2.8 as we go up the list here. All right. Anybody else stand out? 3.3 is the record from Childress that we have seen so far. Anybody else going to top that? 3.7 by Diego Navarro. And I'm assuming this might be when they've done the shot blocking, or the shot blocking, my goodness, the freaking goaltending rule. But I don't know. So what was that? What did he have? 3.7 is the highest we have seen. 3.6 here. 3.8 by Christophe Gerbaude. I don't know if I said that right. I'm going to pretend I did and play it off casually, but I could be very wrong. 4.4 blocks a game. Oh my gosh, this guy might be breaking some records with this one. 4.4, and he had a long run of absolutely killing it there. Nobody will top 4.4. Let's go ahead and check out the steals. Now, the steals are going to be a bit interesting because if you notice, within the last 15 years, nobody has averaged over 3 steals a game. NBA 2K loves their steals. Let's take a look at this. 4.1 by John Wall. Chris Paul, 4.1. They're going back and forth here. Chris Paul and John Wall, 4.1. Still the record for the time being as we scroll up this list. Ed Gentry really getting a ton of steals throughout his career. Have yet to see somebody surpass 4.1 though, and it doesn't look like we're going to. Nobody's really close yet. 4.7, I take it back. Damian Hickman for the Raptors. 5.1 steals a game. Unbelievable. As we go through 5.4 by Mark Patton. I don't know if we're going to see anybody top that. That is ridiculous. And yeah, 5.4. That's going to win it out. Let's go ahead and check out some of the other awards. All right, let's go ahead and check out Defensive Player of the Year. I decided not to really look at Rookies of the Year because you're really not going to see any dominant players. You might see a player win Rookie of the Year, but we've already checked out the MVP awards. That's more important. We're not going to look at Sixth Man either because who cares? So anyway, here we go. LeBron James, Defensive Player of the Year, his first in his career there. Anthony Davis going to win 3 in a row. Karl Anthony Towns coming onto the scene. Then you got Childress. Now, Stan Grace might be the most dominant defensive player we had during this sim. Let's check this out. 3, 4 in a row. Dwayne Dawkins will win one. Stan Grace 5, 6. Dwayne Dawkins would win another. 7 for Grace. 8, 9, 10, 11 Defensive Player of the Year awards for Stan Grace. And the crazy thing is, we didn't see him in the blocks per game or the steals per game category or the rebounds per game category. So he must have had a really well-rounded defensive game. We'll have to check that out as we move forward, but that's ridiculous. Mark West going to win a few. Casey Holland, Diego Navarro, he had all the blocks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he had the steals. He had one of the two. We saw him a lot. Adrian West representing this list quite a bit. There's Christophe Gerbaud. That's the other leader. I think he had either the top amount of blocks or steals, whichever one. Al Farouk going to be looking really good here. Actually, back-to-back with 2 different teams. Why would they let him go, though? The Thunder, though, had both of these players at the same time. They must have been a dominant defense during that era. Let's go ahead and move on to the next stat. All right, let's go ahead and move on to NBA records, and let's go ahead and check out points. Who has the most points? Was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record broken? And LeBron James has not only broken Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record, but he has smashed it. And actually, Kevin Durant is going to be right behind him on this list. Hugh Hendricks, a simulated player, coming in at number 3. Dylan Peterson at 4. Then you got Kareem all the way down at number 5. His record does not last throughout time. Clinton Mitchell going to be 6. David Dawkins 7. Gerard Whitney. So really, most of these players are simulated players. A lot of new players to look forward to. Let's go ahead and check out rebound, or not field goals. I don't really care about that. Let's just go to the rebounds. Wilt Chamberlain does still hold on to his record here. You do see a few simulated players. Look at this guy, Cameron, though. Oh my gosh, you do see a few simulated players down the list. Assist. I'm interested in this one. John Stockton's record was not broken, and nobody was even close. Wesley Berry was the closest. We saw him absolutely killing it. However, his record still holds the test of time. We will have to check out the assists per game and stuff like that as we go through. Blocks, Hakeem Olajuwon, his record is still there. Cameron. Did we even see Cameron in the leading blocks per game for a single year? I don't think we did. Here is Stan Grace on this list. He's going to be number 5, and I'll tell you why this is significant. First of all, we saw him get 11 Defensive Players of the Year. Number 5 in blocks per game. Number 3, not blocks per game, blocks all time. Number 3 in steals all time. This guy did it all. Unbelievable player. Let's go ahead and look at rebounds. Was he on this list too? I don't know. He might have been I doubt he was a wing player, but he's down at number 29 in rebounds all time. Still very good, especially when you consider his other stats there. Unbelievable career for Stan Grace, though. Minutes, obviously LeBron far and away number 1 here. So really, it's almost more impressive. Kevin Durant had to average more points a game based on the minutes there. Turnovers, Whitney, look at this, Whitney has nearly 8,000 less minutes than LeBron James and still has managed to have more turnovers than him. Points per game, though, is going to go to Hugh Hendricks, 34.4, Clint Mitchell, 31.5, Dylan Peterson, 31.2, Jordan down here at 30.1 with Wilt Chamberlain as well. So interesting to see some new names there. Any other rebounds per game? Wilt Chamberlain still number 1. Russell still number 2. Clinton Mitchell going to be at number 3 here. Christophe Gerbaud going to be at number 4. Don't see, there's a few other sim players there. Assists per game, Wesley Berry. Now, he might not have the most assists per game all time, but 12.3, or assist all time, but 12.3 assists per game is absurd throughout a career. Absolutely unbelievable. Chad Henry there is going to be number 2. Blocks per game, Mark Eaton on that list, obviously, I guess. Hakeem Olajuwon, Manute Bol, obviously, down the list. Anyway, Mutombo down there. steals per game, and you're going to see a few players here, I would say. In fact, nearly all of these players, if I'm not mistaken, are simulated players. I don't know, and I'm not sure. I feel like Mark Eaton's actually a real player. That sounds familiar, but I'm not positive. But the rest, I think these are all simmed. I could be wrong, though. But that is going to be it for those stats. Let's go ahead and check out the Hall of Fame before ending this video. There's actually one other thing I want to check out before, or not before, but after we do the Hall of Fame. But let's go ahead and look at this really quick. Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, Nowitzki. Let's find out where the simmed players are at as we go up this list. Paul George going to make it. Go Pacers. Kevin Durant, Lillard on the list. Obviously, Kevin Love's going to make it. I know people will make an argument for him, but I don't think so. D'Angelo Russell makes it. There you go. Antonio Dantley becomes the first simmed player to make it on the list. Emmanuel Cisse there as we go up. Stan Grace, obviously a great defensive player. Dwayne Dawkins is going to be there too. Going up the list. And obviously a lot of names that we have been seeing throughout this video. David Dawkins there. The Dawkins brothers. You got the Vern brothers both making the Hall of Fame as well. Here we go. Anybody up this list that we recognize? Christophe. Oh, Dumpling is coughing in the background. Cameron! There you go. What a name, Cameron. Hugh Hendricks on the list. All-time leaders in points per game there. And then obviously, you know, we couldn't see the MVP. His career finish. He had 6 MVPs in a row, but obviously that's where the line was drawn. So not going to see anything there. Let's go ahead and check out all of the teams after 80 years into the future. All right, we are here with the 76ers. Now, I'm going to say first off, I don't know off the top of my head how many championships every single NBA team has won. So I can't comment on all of the changes. But the 76ers are going to have 7 NBA championships. Obviously, a good portion of these came within this series. 16 conference championships. The Bucks with 5 NBA championships there. All right. The Bulls with 6. So they did not win another one, actually. In fact, they didn't even make it to the NBA Finals throughout the 80-year sim. Obviously, all 6 of those coming with Michael Jordan. The Cavs win 5 NBA championships, so they ended up getting 4 throughout this sim. The Celtics with 19, so I think they got, what, 3 more? I think they had 16. I could be wrong on that, but I thought they had 16, so maybe 3 more. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. The Clippers still unable to do it. And not only have they not won an NBA championship, they have not even been in the NBA Finals. 0 conference championships. We have simmed 80 years into the future, and they have still not been able to make it happen. They are the new Chicago Cubs, I guess, because that is just not good. The Grizzlies, 3 NBA championships for them. There you go. The Hawks have 4. The Heat have 5. Hornets still have yet to win an NBA championship. They did indeed make it to 2 NBA Finals. Were not able to get it done there, though. The Jazz with 3 NBA championships. The Kings with 2. The Knicks with 5. The Lakers, 21. I don't know how many they won throughout this franchise. I know they won a few. I don't know how many they have off the top of my head regular, though. But I did see them win a few throughout this one. The Magic have won an NBA championship. There you go. The Mavericks with 4. The Nets with 2. The Nuggets with 2. The Pacers win their first 2 NBA championships ever. They did make it to the finals 3 other times in which they lost, though. Pelicans, 4 NBA championships for them. Not bad. Pistons with 6. Raptors got an NBA championship here as well. The Rockets with 3 NBA championships. The Spurs with 7. Oh, that's interesting. Suns with 6. Thunder with 4. Timberwolves with 4. Blazers with 3. Warriors with 10. And then the Wizards with 5. That'll take us back to the 76ers. Let's go ahead and look at the retired jerseys really quick, too. I'm going to try to scroll through this as quickly as I can. Just hit that pause button if you guys would like to check out your team. There's one really interesting thing that I did want to show here, though. Because it was really absurd that I noticed. And that's the whole reason we're showing this. But I also wanted to show everybody's team just so you guys can see all the players that have been retired for your favorite team. And obviously the Celtics going to have a lot on this list as we go down here. Oh man, so many jerseys retired. They're going to run out of names there. Only one list here for the Clippers. Same with the Grizzlies. Only one list. The Hawks going down. Childress is going to be there. The Heat, they're going to have a few as well. Few new names, Johnny Emerson being one of them. The Hornets, Bobby Phils. Love Bobby Phils. Here are the Jazz as we scroll down this list. All right, going to see a few Eds on that one. The Kings going to have a lot of players here as well. A lot of new players, I meant to say. DeMarcus Cousins being one of them there. The Knicks, as we scroll down, and Carmelo Anthony and Porzingis both going to make it. Not many players after that, though. Up we go for the Lakers. Again, going to be a lot of names on this list. Not a whole lot of new names, though. The Magic, did they really retire number 6? I didn't even realize they've done that. That's interesting. The Mavericks, as we scroll up the list, Timothy Niang. Oh, man, is that George's son? The Nets, scroll down for this one, and the Nuggets. So there's Chuck Vern, and this is really what I wanted to get to. So Carmelo Anthony's jersey was retired with the Nuggets as well. The Pacers. Now, I noticed this because, one, this was the team that I was as I simmed through, but you will notice that Dawkins, the player that won the most MVPs throughout this entire series, did not have his jersey retired by the Pacers. How bizarre is that? I don't know what he did to piss off management, but Dawkins not getting his jersey retired. Like I said, that team did not have success during his run. The rest of his teammates were terrible, but I guess he's going to get punished in the long haul for it because it's crazy to see a guy win 8 MVPs and not have his jersey retired. Here are the Spurs as we look at some of the names we've seen throughout simming here. The Suns going down the list, and Devin Booker on the list, Stan Grace. The Thunder going to have some names there. Junior Cox, Melvin Vern, the other Vern brother. The Timberwolves, as we scroll down here, Hugh Hendricks. The Blazers, LaMarcus Aldridge, CJ McCollum. Is Lillard not on this list? And Lillard is not on this list. He won MVP for them. I believe he led them to, I think CJ McCollum won Finals MVP, but still, that is bizarre not to see his name on that list as well. The Warriors, as we scroll up, okay. The Wizards, and I believe that will do it. Euros Cop was a pretty good player through simming. That'll do it. So that is going to be it. Oh, wait, no, let's look at the rule changes, actually. As we scroll through, you can't go all the way back to the start of the sim, unfortunately, but we can look at it. Most of these, not a huge one. This one's pretty crazy. The first team to score in overtime wins the game. They had a few different, interesting rules. Nothing like super ridiculous, except for eliminate the goaltending rule. That would be such a weird NBA. Like I said, they changed the shot clock around from 24 seconds. Then they moved it up to 35 seconds. They moved it back to 24 seconds. Then they went down to 20 seconds for a little time, as you see there. So interesting changes throughout. Nothing too ridiculous, though. But that is going to be it for this sim. If you guys enjoyed this series, please hit that like button. It does help me out a lot. And if you guys would like to see some more of this, let me know, because I do have other ideas and ways that we can kind of change this around. Maybe even do it year by year as we go through to kind of be more involved with what's going on. It'd have to be like an 80 video series though. But if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. We could always, change things up. I'm always looking for new things to do on this channel. So if you guys have other ideas that we could do with this, please let me know in the comments. Or if you guys don't want to see another video like this, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Peace.